Welcome back to Quicks14Blog, Quicks14 coming at you here with some more classic raid nights that ran with Allegiance or Alliance, however you want to call them. Again, they were wonderful to go ahead and invite us again. Daily Grind came in strong, coming with them to do this night, and we had a blast. We did Blackwing Lair, and that's what you're going to see here. As soon as you come in, you got a couple of trash, or actually no trash. You're going to go straight to the boss fight, first boss fight. It's a very interesting boss fight because you need to use that orb in order to mind control the boss, and you will use the boss to actually destroy the eggs. It's very interesting. Waves of ads are going to come out, so you need to have basically at least one paladin on each side in order to pull aggro and all that. You can see me moving around just trying to keep with heals. We did have a rare bug happen where the ads just kept spawning when they weren't supposed to. So that was interesting. To fix that, we had to actually zone out and zone back in. Everybody did, and it's a bit of a pain. Just for clarification for those wondering, you don't need attunement in order to get into Blackwing Lair anymore. Apparently you can't use the orb, the teleporter orb, outside still without at least finishing the quest that leads up to it. So, very important to note. If you haven't finished that quest, then you can't use the orb, and then you'll have to take the long way back in, which is through, of course, upper Blackrock and lower Blackrock. You'll have to go through uppers, and of course the key to get into uppers is gone as well. So if you didn't know that, now you do. So yeah, there's the first boss. You can see him glitch here in just a sec. We go ahead and go after the second boss despite the glitch, and then after that we realized, yeah, we're gonna have to reset. So everybody had to leave and come back in, which wasn't a huge deal. We had a lock. Most of us had to walk back through Blackrock, through upper Blackrock, so not a big deal. So anyway, we go ahead and move on to the second boss, and that's who this is here. And this is a dragon. If you actually do the quest chains outside in I can't remember the name of it, Searing Gorge, you will actually find out who this dragon is and what happened and everything like that. He's been corrupted. He's not really obviously none of this is very hard for a whole bunch of 80s. We did have some lower levels come in to give a hand and to level and maybe get some gear if they needed, but otherwise this isn't a big deal. It's also important to note that you're going to see at the end, when we get to the final boss, that a lot of Onyxia's old loot, or her standard loot that she used to drop, which of course is not part of her normal loot drop anymore, actually gets dropped on the final boss here in Blackwing, which is very interesting. A lot of the old tier 2 drops you can still find on the boss that's in here. So if you were curious about that, you're going to see that. So this is when we realized, okay, this is never going to end. And we go ahead and decide to zone out and zone back in. So that's what's going to happen here, and then we're going to get right back into it. Now, there's one area here where there's a whole bunch of ads that keep spawning whelps, basically, and it really slows you down. This is an interesting area. You can bring those down temporarily if you have some sort of key in order to do so. I'd suggest, especially for smaller groups, to go ahead and do that. For the most part, you won't have a big deal. The boss is at the very top here. This is actually a lot longer than it looks. I've kind of cut it here for time, but you're gonna have to apologize for those add-on errors. Bigwigs, for some reason, is out of date on these older ones, I think is what I have, and it's causing issues. So that's the end of that boss. There's another boss in here which can be a real pain if you're not prepared for it, and especially if you're in smaller groups. This is a boss that used to require everyone to get a certain piece of gear from Onyxia in order to fight. which of course was a firebang cloak, a heavy fire-resistant cloak. And here he comes, because of his flame thing that he does. We got him down pretty darn easy. There's just so much here. He didn't have a chance to do any major damage, which was good. Kept hitting the wrong button. So, this was a lot of fun. It went really fast, probably because, as you're going to see here in a minute, for most of the fight I was actually too busy stuffing my face. I was hungry, and I hadn't eaten dinner yet, so I had to eat while this was going on. So coming up here, you're going to see me put myself on follow behind Whiskey Blue, who's a healer, a priest healer from our guild, and I do that so I can eat. I'm still healing and still doing stuff as much as I can, but that way I can keep up with the group. There is another boss in here. There's two bosses. There's quite a bit of bosses, but this is not hugely big. So we leap forward to another boss, as you can see here. And I don't know too much about these bosses, in all honesty. Just the last boss, like I said, I really wasn't paying attention. I was too busy stuffing my face and healing when necessary. I was very, very hungry. Needless to say, and if you're wondering what I had to eat, it was soup and some subs. It was very, very yummy. But, so yeah. And then another boss. I apologize again that I don't know much about these bosses. I don't think there's anything really important to note about these bosses. We got them down pretty quick. I just did my healing, and it was over before you knew it. One boss I do know, that's before the final boss, that I can talk about is this dog. It's a double or tri-headed dog, a Cerebrus basically. Coming up here, we're going to hit this switch, and he's going to come on out. And once he does that, you're going to basically hit him with all you want. Now he's going to do this like flame attack that's going to hit everybody with an AoE, and it's basically an aura. It's called Ignite Flesh here, and it can do a lot of damage. It can be healed through. Obviously, it's not too big of a pain, but if you'll notice that after he dies, it's a long cast time, and it keeps going. So it's important to pay attention and make sure you're healing everyone up, even after he's dead. Lest somebody accidentally dies while you're looting. That's never a good thing. So finally, I'm off follow, and we get to the final boss. I've eaten my dinner. I feel much better, and I'm like, oh, we're at the end already. So, this is the last boss. We went ahead and activated her. You're going to see her. She's like a green NPC. You talk to her. All these ads are going to come at you, and then she'll switch over, turn into her dragon form, and you'll actually fight her. The battle was explained to me, and I briefly remember some of it. It's just your standard dragon fight, really. Besides the ads at the beginning, there's nothing horribly important to worry about. Just standard dragon stuff. Obviously, with these many people, it's not a big deal. So, something to keep in mind, especially if you're coming into Blackwing Lair with a smaller group of people. As you can see here, we have 25 people in a 40-man instance. About nearly 75% of that makeup is all 80s, and the rest are in the 60s plus. So, yeah. So, okay, here she comes. Go ahead and fight her. And, standard dragon stuff. We go ahead and turn her around. Keep her cone damage down. You stay away from the tail. Keep to the sides. Just standard fighting dragon stuff, really. Nothing you haven't seen before or since. She does, of course, do a fear. And just very standard stuff. She also does a shadow flame, which is like an AoE-like thing, but otherwise not a big deal. As you'll see here from some of this loot, she does drop a lot of the Onyxia old loot. That's why there's so much. So if you're wondering where all that old loot for Nixia went that no longer drops off of her, it drops off this wonderful dragon right here. And that's pretty much it. That is Blackwing Lair. Very, very fun. Very, very nice. I enjoyed myself very much. And last but not least, as I leave you all here, I want to show off my wife's new pet, Grunty, Burlock Marine. We didn't go to BlizzCon in person, but we did order it virtually. I did it as a birthday present for my wife. And as a continuation of the birthday present, I love her so much that I put the code for Grunty on her account, so she got Grunty and the feat for it, which I'm so proud of her for, and I know she loves it to death, and I love her. So that's all for now. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and spread the word, and until next time.